Now the first section is about alpha amino acids. It's an acid, so it should consist some kind of acidic unit. So in the case of alpha amino acid, we have COOH. The amino group, we know that the amino group is NH3 is known as ammonia. If you remove one hydrogen, it forms a group called as amino group. Okay. So the structure looks something like this: R, C, NH2, H, COOH. In the structure, the COOH is the carboxylic acid. The NH2 group is amino group. The R group is a chain and H is the hydrogen. Okay, so suppose I take an example for R. So suppose for an example we take R is equal to CH3 CH2. So I'll just replace this R with the ethyl group and it looks something like this. That's good. Now you see one thing, that in the first term I use alpha term, and we do remember one thing, that we also do the naming of a compound based on if a group is on the alpha carbon or on the beta carbon or on the gamma and the other ones. So the carbon attached with the COOH group is termed as alpha group. So the first one is alpha, beta, gamma and the other ones after that. So if the NH2 is attached with the first carbon which is attached to the COOH group, it is termed as an alpha amino acid. We will see that alpha amino acid is the building block for proteins. Suppose I just remove NH2 from here and I place NH2 over here. So this would be termed as a beta amino acid. But we see that in the case of proteins, we only use alpha amino acids. So rest other ones are not very popular. Now, suppose you have hundreds of proteins. Out of all the proteins, if you hydrolyze them on hydrolysis, in total you get 26 different types of alpha amino acids. Out of this, 20 are easily seen or they are very popular, whereas the 6 are rarely seen. So in this chapter you will learn only about these ones, the popular alpha amino acids. The rest ones are very rare to see. Nomenclature of alpha amino acid. It is actually the way you use to name the alpha amino acids. How to name them? So we all know one thing, that the names are either IUPAC names, we use IUPAC names, or we use common names. We have learned every rule and every properties of the IU. So if you have to name any alpha amino acid, so suppose you have an alpha amino acid like this, NH3 C H C double OH and CH3. and H, suppose. So you have two hydrogens and one NH3, one amino group and one acid group. So if you have to name this, it will be named very simply. So you can name it as, it's the alpha. So the true IUPAC name should go like this. This one should get number 1, this should get number 2, and it should be named as 2 amino ethanoic acid. You can also name it under the IUPAC system as alpha amino acetic acid. Both the names can be used under the IUPAC names. As I have said earlier, that these alpha amino acids, you have to learn about only 20 important amino acids. So these 20 important amino acids are referred by their smaller names or their common names. So for amino acids, you don't use the long names, you have to use the short names. So suppose, let's write all of them. So over here I am going to write the popular 20 amino acids. The rest 6 are not useful for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first one is glycine. Second is alanine. Third is valine. Fourth is leucine. Fifth is isoleucine. Phenyl alanine. Methionine. Tryptophan. Serine. Cysteine. Protamine. Threonine. Proline, aspartic acid, asparagine, glutamic acid, lysine, arginine, and histidine. Okay, so these are the most important and the popular ones. Now the second part of the unit is about how to classify them, how to just see like which amino acids have which kind of properties. They all these amino acids have only one thing in similar, that they have at least one NH2 group and at least one COOH group. Some of them might have 2 or more NH2 or COOH group. If you have a compound which has more COOH group, it turns out to be more acidic. If you have more NH2 groups in it, it forms to be more basic. If you have both equal in number, it forms to be neutral compound. So the second part is the classification of alpha amino acids. So the first thing I just said is they can be classified as neutral, acidic and basic. So in the case of neutral, what you have one NH2, one amino group and one COOH group. If the acidic and the basic groups are in equal number, then the overall compound will be neutral in nature. Whereas in acidic, you have two COOH group and one NH2 group. More acidic in nature. The basic is just the reverse. It has two NH2s and one COOH group. Simple to understand. So suppose I just have to see that among which of them are acidic. So you just see the ones having acid at the end. So the 15th one, that is aspartic acid. The second one is this one, 17th one, glutamic acid. And one more is, okay, suppose I'll represent the acidic ones by blue color. So among them, the 15th one is acidic, 15th one is acidic, 16th one is acidic, 17th one is acidic. Okay. In the neutral section, you get glycine, alanine and valine. So the first one, glycine, alanine and valine are neutral in nature. And the basics example are lysine, arginine, histidine. Where are lysine, arginine and histidine? These three. The rest ones, for seeing they are acidic or basic and what, you just have to see the structure of them and then you can name them. Whereas these 9 ones are very important for us to learn. The second type of classification under the section is based on whether the amino acid is essential for us or not. So there is a term called essential and a term called non-essential. Can you explain me one thing, that if you have a thing, suppose you have phone, so the phone is essential or non-essential? So suppose you don't have an iPhone, you have a small phone. If you just want an iPhone, then that iPhone will be very, very essential for you. You don't have it, but suppose someday you buy an iPhone, so now you have it and you use it. Now the iPhone is not that essential for you, it is now non-essential for you. So if you don't have something and you need it, it is essential, and if you have it, it comes out to be non-essential. So in the case of amino acid, we explain essential as there are 10 amino acids. I'll just first explain this. There are 10 amino acids. So out of this popular ones, half of them, that is 10 amino acids, are produced in human body. So the human body can synthesize 10 amino acids. Now if the body can synthesize it, we don't actually need to get these amino acids from outside. So we don't have to eat something for these amino acids. So they are non-essential for us. And the other 10 amino acids, which are not produced inside our body. The amino acids which we are not able to synthesize on our own, so we have to eat something for it, suppose like milk or egg or fish. So these are the essential amino acids for us. So if you have to name which are essential and which are non-essential, so the 10 essential amino acids are valine, the third number. Valine is essential, the third number. Leucine, the fourth number, essential, we should have it. Isoleucine, the fifth one. Phenyl and alanine, the sixth one. Methionine, the seventh one. Tryptophan, the eighth one. Threonine, where is the 12th one. Lysine, where is lysine? 18th one. Arginine, the 19th one. And finally the last one, histidine. Histidine is the last one, 20th. So 4, 4, 2. So these 10 amino acids are essential for us and we need it from some outside source. So we have to eat them. And the rest of them, the rest others are non-essential. So I'll just mark them for you. Essential, valine, essential, till 8th one, then 12th one, then 18th one, lysine, arginine, histidine. So these are the essential ones. Okay, simple to understand. The third type of classification is a complete protein or an incomplete protein. So suppose you go on a trip. Suppose you go on a trip to Ooty. Okay. So for Ooty, you have two kinds of travel packages. So one of them is a complete package and this next one is a partial or an incomplete package. So suppose the first package gives you the flight it gives you from Chennai to Ooty, the service. It gives you the food for all the days. It gives you hotel rooms. It gives you a bus. So it gives you everything you actually need. So it's a complete package. Whereas in the incomplete one, you get only a bus service. So any package or any protein which give you all the popular amino acids that are known to be complete, and the ones that are that don't have all the amino acids in them are called as incomplete proteins. So it is defined as, so we need what? We need essential ones or the non-essential ones. In our body we can synthesize the non-essential ones, so we need only the essential amino acids. So the proteins that can provide us the essential amino acids provide us all the essential. I'll just write it again for you. Provide us all the essential amino acids. All the essential amino acids are called complete proteins. Simple. Example: meat, fish, milk, egg, beans, and peas. So suppose if you don't eat non-veg, so you can have milk, beans and peas, because these are complete ones and they contain all the essential amino acids, whereas the incomplete ones are rice, corn and wheat. These ones have only some of the amino acids essential for you.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at needbook.in.